Everyone, I am Maria Yaga, and in this video I'm going to talk about meeting letters. Well, what's the difference to send an email to friends or your professor? Well, when you friend, you are more informal, but with your professor, you need to be more polite. And how to write formal email for your professor or your boss or your um, higher entity like official, published official, you need to use a formal format. Just begin with the greeting. It's an essential part, and you can never forget it. Here you mention the name of the sender, and if you know the position or the name of the company they work for, you can include that. And the second one, you have to the introduction. It's an important part because keep in mind the sender might not know you, and you need to introduce yourself. In third place, we have the body of the letter. Here, the writer exposes the reason for the writing. You must express yourself clearly and consistently. Taking account maybe the sender doesn't have much time to read your email, and if your email is too long, the sender could get confused for so many irrelevant details or sentences. Finally, we have the closing, where you just say goodbye in a polite way and mention your name. You need to reflect on that because you need to check something. Well, here we have something to take in account before you write a letter or after write a letter. Well, first of all, use a formal vocabulary, not using contraction or slang. Then check your spelling, grammar for any mistakes, and check if everything you need to express is right. For the subject line, well, the subject line should reflect the reason for your letter. It should be short and clear. For the email you use to send email must be appropriate. For example, here we have two examples, my two emails. I use the first one for send emails to my classmate or my professor, and the second one I use for video games or subscribe to any website. A formal letter should not be too long. Between 50 or 115 words is appropriate, is acceptable. Shorter or longer and might not be understood or not be taken into account. Well, a formal letter and informal letter are very different. Here I have two examples. In an informal letter, I have a lot of mistakes. I check first. Well, comparing, I have first the greetings. The greetings is good, it's right, acceptable, but usually in informal emails to be ignored. And the introduction, my introduction is right, but I have a mistake because I use contractions. I can't use in a letter format. Well, but introduction, the formal letter is appropriate. The writer is introducing herself. Well, for the body, I use a lot of sentences. I have mistake for my grammar and the people. The other is concise and clear. There are no more information of the necessary. And the closing. Well, the closing is I mention my name and I saying goodbye. The other is the same and writing the all of the name and the position. That's right. That's correct. For this lesson, I can say that like I like the lesson and I know that's how to write an email to my professor for ask for permission, or how I can send email for complaining to a company. I dislike about that could be I need to reflect a lot for before to send these emails. For me, last example, I didn't review my errors, my mistakes, and I was wrong. It's a good knowledge to applicate for people working or studying as me. But that's all. Thank you for listening to me. Bye bye.